Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you to the World Teachers Quiz Know It All. Before we move any further into the second edition of this fantastic initiative from the TeacherTribe.world, it is our pleasure and privilege to introduce to you our host, a passionate knowledge show host, writer, author, poet. She's the co-founder and senior editor of the TeacherTribe.world. She is also the only professional woman quiz host across Asia. With over 300 shows across 50 destinations of India and overseas, she enjoys a huge fan following now with students and teachers. From being a co-host of the Tata Crucible to several other corporate shows, the Teacher's Quiz is something that is very close to her and she's passionate about. She was rated by Business World as a 40 under 40 for content creators a year ago and was also conferred the iconic Woman Creating a Better World for All award by the Women Economic Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, here to grill you all, please welcome one and only Rashmi Furtado.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear educators. Welcome to the second edition of the World Teachers Quiz Know It All, brought to you by TeacherTribe.world in collaboration with CLLE, TCS ION and ICSL. We have had an amazing participation from all of you for the first edition, and that prompted us to go with the second edition. And yet again, you all have pleasantly surprised us with your support, and we intend to make this an annual event henceforth. Welcome to this third semi-final. Yes, third semi-final, which means we have already completed the first two semi-final and identified the first two world finalists. Today, I have four more semi-finalists with me. Let me introduce them to you and then get into the rules of the game. First up, we have Simon Verghese from National School of Journalism, Bangalore. Following him, we have Nikita Sinha from Army Public School, Jabalpur. Deepta Vivekanand from St. Kabir School, Chandigarh. And completing this lineup here today is Lalita from the PSBB Millennium School, Coimbatore. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that these are 4 among the 16 or the top 16 of the World Teachers Quiz. So they have done really well for themselves to make it to this semi-final. Well, people kept telling us that we are not sure if teachers are really into contests like quizzing and things like that, but we took the leap, and I must tell you that all of you teachers and educators have surprised us time and again, answering some really tough questions which I personally thought may go unanswered. So you all have been really good with your quizzing. Without any further ado, let's get into the rules of the game. All the questions here today will be on the buzzers. Plus 50, minus 50, the scoring pattern. Single attempt per question only, and every question will stay valid for about 5 to 7 seconds. Beyond that, if none of them press the buzzer, I will move on to the next question. Rest of the rules have been explained to them, so I won't get into the details. Let's get cracking with this quiz. The first round on your screen now. First round of the quiz, unlock the mind. Quizzes are all about being able to make connections to what we have learned to the world outside. So let's see how good all of these semi-finalists are at making those connections. I have already told all of you, scoring pattern is plus 50, minus 50. Visuals is what I have for you. Corresponding questions that go along with it. However, it's up to you if you want to stop me while I'm reading the question and press the buzzer right there. Good luck to all of you. Question number 1 on your screens now. Identify this Indian novelist who is also a professor emerita of humanities at MIT. Let me give you a clue. I think one of her initial books was Fasting Feasting. All right, no one going on the buzzer on this one. The answer I was looking for. All right, Simon, I'm really sorry. I already told the time is up, so I cannot give you an opportunity. You can try, no points.
Is it Geeta Desai?
Well, the Desai part is correct. Geeta was wrong, so you would have got a negative on that. The answer I was looking for is Anita Desai. Her name is Anita Desai, and you're sort of lucky, good decision actually. I think it was luck that you pressed the buzzer after I said the time is up. Anita Desai, the answer I was looking for. Moving on to the second question on your screen now. Name this headgear that this Bolivian lady is wearing. There is a specific name for the headgear. I do not want a generic name. I understand the tendency is to think it's a generic word or a generic name. Why am I asking this question? But there is a specific name for this type of headgear. All right, no one going on the buzzer even on this one. The answer I was looking for is a bowler hat or a bowler hat, however you want to pronounce it. This hat is called as a bowler hat. Moving on, question number 3 on your screens now. We all are aware of fonts like Comic Sans. Deepta, go ahead.
Okay, I think the question is, what does the sans here indicate? And it means it does not have those little lines jutting out on every letter. That would be a serif font.
So what happens when you press the buzzer when a quizmaster is still asking the question is you have to guess the question along with giving the answer. But sometimes the strategies just pay off. Plus 50, you're absolutely right. I was looking for meaning of sans in all of these fonts. You're absolutely right. Serif fonts are those which have strokes towards the ends of the font. Times New Roman would be a good example of a serif font. Plus 50 on that to Deepta. Moving on, question number 4. Here we go. Identify a world leader who was in the news. Lalita, go ahead.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. There's Home Alone 2 on your screen and I said world leader plus 50. She's absolutely right. Donald Trump, the answer I was looking for. He actually played a cameo in this movie. Although I'm not really sure. I read some reports that that particular cameo was edited out later. Not really sure of that. Moving on, but she gets a plus 50 on that. Moving on, question number 5 on your screen now. Who is this special edition Monopoly dedicated to? This person was fascinated by data patterns, algorithms, and was convinced that there was a code-based tactic to playing and winning the board games. Simon, go ahead.
Is it Alan Turing?
Alan Turing, giving him a plus 50. Absolutely right. Alan Turing, the answer I was looking for. Even if you hadn't heard out my question, there is an image of him right there on the visual and that should also have helped. And I think that just did. And he gets a plus 50 on that. Moving on, the last question of this round on your screen here. These pens are used to write something specific. What is the use of these pens? The nibs actually. Deepta, go ahead.
They're all calligraphy pens.
Taking a -50 on that is Deepta. This is a common confusion that occurs when we show these nibs on screen. These are pens that are actually used to write musical notes. If you have observed musical notes, when you write it upwards or when you move the pen upwards, the strokes become thinner, and when you go downwards, the strokes become thicker. These nibs are designed in a manner that the purpose of the thinness and the thickness is served. These pens are actually used to write the musical notes. She gets a -50 on that, but if you ask me, nil is not a bad place to be. There's a long way to go. Let's move on to the second round of this quiz, setting the pace. Here we go. All right, early days in scoring here, Ms. Lalita and Simon both are on +50 each. Deepta gained and lost, but both herself and Nikita are on nil. Nobody has gone into the negative, so I think it's going to be easier for them to build it up into the positive scores. The second round, visuals again. First question on your screen now. She was the daughter of the poet Lord Byron. Lalita, go ahead.
Ada Lovelace.
Ada Lovelace, absolutely right. +50 on that. She gets a +50. She is actually credited to be the first computer programmer, and there are reports that she has worked together with Charles Babbage. Ada Lovelace giving her a +50. Moving on, question number 2 on your screens now. This is the grand staircase from RMS Olympic. Deepta, go ahead.
Yes. I'm going to take a wild guess and say the Titanic. I don't know what the question is.
This is a typical quizzer behavioral pattern. You press the buzzer before the question has been read out, and then you take a wild guess, or you give all possible answers together. But you're absolutely right. Titanic is the answer I was looking for. RMS Olympic was actually the sister ship of Titanic, and this particular staircase, this image was used as an inspiration when the movie was created and that grand staircase of the Titanic was created. And there was an iconic scene that was there between the main characters at this particular staircase. Hence, we thought this is a very interesting question to ask. +50 on that to Deepta. Moving on, question number 3, here we go. I won the Grammy twice for Lalita, go ahead.
Obama. Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, the audacity of hope and dreams from my father, and I just said I have won the Grammy twice. +50, very good answer, +50 on that. Could you tell us why Obama, Lalita? I mean, you get your +50, don't worry about that.
I just read it somewhere. This is one of his biographies.
All right.
Autobiographies.
And why would he have won Grammy for that? Any idea?
No idea. No
All
idea.
right. Nevertheless, you still get your +50. The Grammy is because both of these were converted to audio books, and he was the one who was the narrator. Of course, they were his books. He was a narrator for these books, and he won Grammy twice for these books. Let's move on. Question number 4 on your screen now. The Greek sensation Helen of Troy hatched to life from what? We all have read a lot about Greek mythology. Helen of Troy hatched to life from what? I'm pretty sure all of you have read about Helen of Troy, but not how she came onto the planet. No one going on the buzzer for that. And the question, I move on to the next question, where the answer for this one is an egg. When I said she hatched from what, the hatching part was actually a clue for all of you to work out. She hatched from an egg when she came into this planet. Helen of Troy. Moving on, question number 5 on your screen now. What is this a first of? This is an invention, and this is the first of those inventions. A tough question. Lalita, go ahead. She's on the buzzer.
Movie camera. Movie camera.
A movie camera is what she says. Probably looks like a movie camera to her, but taking a negative on that -50, the answer I was looking for is a Xerox machine. Xerox machine was the answer I was looking for, and Lalita takes a negative on that. Moving on, the last question of this round on your screen now. Which country is this with a flag that looks different on both sides? If you look at it carefully, the flag looks different on both the sides. Deepta, go ahead.
Paraguay.
Paraguay, giving her a +50. She's absolutely right. Paraguay, the answer I was looking for. Let's take a quick look at the scores before we move on to the next round. As of now, we have Lalita and Deepta both tied up at a score of 100 points. Simon inching closer to them on 50 points. Nikita is still on nil, but we have 2 more rounds to go. Let's see what happens. Next round of this quiz, saluting the educators. Here we go. As the title of this round suggests, this round is all about educators or education. There's a small little difference though. Along with the images that will be shown on the screen, there would be blocks that will be displayed. These blocks will indicate the number of letters in the answer. So that also will serve as a clue to all of you. Moving on. First question of this round on your screen now. Identify this educator. Deepta on the buzzer, very quick. Go ahead, Deepta.
Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan.
Giving her a +50. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. What I did was I put a younger image of his that was available, and I really thought she sort of waited for a second to look at it carefully and then give me the answer, but she's absolutely right, getting a +50 on that. Moving on, question number 2 on your screens now. He developed the experiential theory of learning. Identify him. We talk a lot about experiential learning, but this is the man who created or developed the experiential learning theory. In fact, a lot of educators believe in experiential learning. All right, time's up. No one going on the buzzer there. The answer I was looking for is David Kolb. David Kolb is the one who came up with theory of experiential learning. Moving on, question number 3 on your screens now. Identify the famous scholarship. A famous scholarship. Many educators do have these scholarships. All right, no one going on the buzzer for this one. The answer I was looking for is Fulbright. Fulbright is a scholarship that all of us have heard of time and again, but I guess no one has taken a note of the logo of the Fulbright scholarship, and that was the answer I was looking for. The last question of this round on your screens now. Identify the author. A theory of human motivation. Huge clue on the visual there. Deepta, go ahead.
Abraham Maslow.
Abraham Maslow from the need hierarchy theory. Absolutely right. +50 on that. We all know Abraham Maslow a lot, but we may not have checked the kind of books that he's written. Plus 50, she's absolutely right. Abraham Maslow, the answer I was looking for. Before we move on, quick look at the scores. Deepta is currently in the lead with 200 points. Closely behind her is Lalita with 100 points and Simon on a 50. Last round of this quiz, the last lap. Here we go. This is the last round of this quiz and nothing appears on the screen. All the questions are text-based and I would be reading out the questions to you. Scoring pattern remains the same. Question number 1, here we go. With an amazing culture of their own, this is believed to be the Maasai word for endless plains. What am I talking about? Lalita, go ahead.
The Masai Mara.
Taking a negative on that is Lalita. I said Maasai word, but the answer I was looking for is Serengeti. Serengeti would have given you that plus 50. Moving on, question number 2. Here we go. This drink was created when water was not always safe to drink. Hence, wine was often added to the water in the hope that alcohol would kill any bacteria in the drink. It can be loosely defined as a red wine punch. What am I referring to? Deepta, go ahead.
Sangria.
Sangria, giving her a plus 50. Absolutely right. Plus 50 on that. It's really amazing that a drink like sangria has a history like this, where wine was actually added to water, believing that the alcohol would kill the germs in water. And that is how this drink came into existence. Plus 50 on that to Deepta. The penultimate question of this quiz. Identify the series of movies based on books written by C.S. Lewis that revolve around adventure of kids in a specific place, guided by Aslan. C.S. Lewis originally wrote 7 books. Deepta, go ahead.
The Chronicles of Narnia.
The Chronicles of Narnia, giving her a plus 50. She's absolutely right. Aslan was a huge clue. The majestic lion that's there in the Chronicles of Narnia, plus 50 on that. The last question of this quiz. Here we go. These are knee-length skirts or skirt-like apparels worn mostly by men, originating from Scottish Highlands. Deepta, go ahead.
Kilt.
Kilt, giving her the last plus 50 that I could give anyone. Plus 50 on that. She's absolutely right. She gets the last plus 50. Ladies and gentlemen, as of now, the winner of this particular semi-final is Deepta with 350 points. She was very consistent in her game. She tried her best to not take a negative, but that still happened in between. But she moved into the positives and has made it to the world final. Congratulations to you, Deepta. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Deepta Vivekanand making it to the world final from this semi-final. I have one more semi-final remaining. You don't go anywhere. I think it's just going to get more and more interesting as we inch closer into that world final. I will see you at the 4th semi-final. You take care.